So I just turned 30 somewhat recently, and I'm not saying that as a bad thing. I think a lot of people dread turning 30. I don't really have that sense. I've never thought 30 was old, and I still don't think it's old. And not that even getting old is a bad thing. But turning 30 has caused me to think about a few different things. So, for those who follow my channel regularly, you know that I've been battling with chronic fatigue syndrome for 3 years now. And I'm not going to get into what that is here. If you want to know more about what chronic fatigue is, you can check out some of my other videos where I explain it much more in depth. But basically, in short, chronic fatigue syndrome is a condition that is largely considered to be caused by an overactive or hypervigilant nervous system. Basically, your nervous system is stuck in fight or flight mode. So that's what I've been dealing with for 3 years. Now, the reason that I think at 30 years old it has hit me is because while being sick, I sort of feel like I've been stuck in a time capsule in a way. And what I mean is that when I got sick, I was 27 years old, and at the time I was healthy, I was fit. I don't look like it now, but I used to be a runner. I was working a lot and living life, starting a family, all those different things. And life was going good. And then all of a sudden one day, literally Christmas Day of 2022, something switched. And my body has not been the same since. We've done all the tests and seen the specialists and the naturopaths and everyone you can think of. And I'm still sick. But I think what I've been realizing the last few months is that chronic fatigue syndrome, or a chronic illness in general, just basically puts the brakes on life. Where one day I'm building a career, I'm working towards my future, I'm providing for my family, we're, working on building a home, metaphorically, and raising a family, all these things are going on, and then all of a sudden one day, everything just changes. For me, at least, it was overnight. It was an overnight change. And that's hard for me, I think, because in a lot of ways, it feels like I've lost the last 3 years of my life. These 3 years in my late 20s, I had envisioned to be working and to be running and to be playing with my kids, to, just enjoying life. And it's not to say that I haven't found some enjoyment in the last 3 years, but being sick really takes a lot of that out of you. And it's been difficult to process it all. And even my wife the other day came to me and she just kind of described feeling kind of aimless, like we're just kind of waiting for me to get better. And now it's been 3 years. And I think that the word aimless kind of sticks out to me in a lot of ways. And it makes it feel like we had all these plans and they got completely derailed. And that can be challenging to work through. And there's part of me that at 30, again, I don't feel old at 30, but I think what I do feel is this, is I wonder how many more years am I going to be sick? How many more years am I not going to be able to run? How many more years am I not going to be able to play with my kids? Am I going to be sick so long that I don't get to play with my kids the way I want to? Am I going to be sick for so long that I don't get to take my kids to the park? Am I going to be so sick that I don't get to take my kids on a hike? I want to be able to live and to enjoy these things. And maybe that's selfish, because I know I try to remind myself all the time that there are people in the world who never got to experience these things. There are people in the world who have been sick from birth. There are people who have been chronically ill since they were in high school. There are people who never got to run because they were born without legs or something. Or veterans who went and fought off in a war to keep us all safe. And the wounds that they sustained have altered their life completely. And so I'm not trying to throw a pity party and to act like I'm the only one who's going through difficult things. It's hard to process. And I think with a chronic illness, it's hard because you still hope that someday life will get back to normal. And you're waiting for that to happen. And at this point now, I've been waiting for 3 years. And so I'm just waiting to figure out when is everything going to get better. And that's difficult. And I think those are the things I'm processing. And I think what I would encourage anyone who's watching, whether you're healthy or you are sick, to enjoy the moments that life gives you as much as possible, because you never know what life is going to throw at you. You never know what may come your way. I'm not saying that life is all doom and gloom, but sometimes things happen. Sometimes people get sick. Sometimes you get in an accident. Sometimes you lose a loved one far sooner than you had ever imagined. But in the midst of all that, I think we need to learn how to enjoy life and to live it to the fullest as much as possible. And there's no point in me looking back at the good old days or the glory days and wanting those and desiring those so much that I forget to live in the present moment and to enjoy life where I'm at. What I mean is, I can keep waiting for the day that I can go on a hike with my kids, or I can figure out something else to do with my kids in the meantime. I can color with them. I can watch a movie with them. And so the idea, I guess what I'm getting at is, I don't want to live in my past so much that I don't live in the present. Because I still have a lot of life ahead of me. Even if some of that life involves being chronically ill. I still have family, I still have friends, I still get to play with my kids in a small capacity, I still get to work on YouTube, I still get to have the occasional date night with my wife sometimes. There's so many pieces to life that are still so good, and we need to shift our mindset into living in the present moment, not dwelling on the past, because all I'm doing by dwelling on the past is making the present, that much more difficult. Because if my life and my enjoyment in life is defined by my ability to run, or my ability to work, or my ability to play with my kids in a certain way, if that's how I define my life, if that's where I find my meaning in life, then yes, I will be sadly disappointed. So yes, I'm 30 years old. It feels like I've lost 3 years of my life, but I want to stop looking at it in that way. I've not lost 3 years. They just look different than I expected. I hope that's an encouragement. Please take care. God bless. We will see you soon. Adios.